This is sports betting top picks and plays for college basketball. My name is Abby. Thank you for joining me. It's Saturday, February the 15th. We're just here to discuss. It's a big slate of games for college basketball that we're going to go over today. Again, we're going to discuss the first game here on the board. It's Depaul at Xavier. We're using oddslogic.com screen for the games this afternoon. This is a 12 o'clock start. Oddslogic.com again. The latest line moves, point spread moves, the latest totals, over-unders, and the injury report. That's oddslogic.com. So the first game on the board here, Depaul at Xavier. The line here is 12.5, as you can see. Totals 145.5. Right now we're seeing it's still 12.5. We're seeing it come down to 11.5, but it's basically 144.5, 145. That's what we're seeing right now. So we'll look at this game right now. Definitely look into this game. We'll wait for this to pop up. We're gonna see where the public's at on this game. Just one moment. Wait for this to come up. All right, so as you can see here, the line opened up at 12.5. It's 12.5. Some places 11.5, but it's mainly 12.5. Public's obviously on Depaul. Public's all over Depaul in this game. Total is at 144.5. That's where it's at right now. So we're gonna look into this game further. They look at the head-to-head. Depaul at Illinois. Depaul. Xavier at Depaul. We'll look into that one. One moment, we'll find that one here. Okay, so the matchup shows here. As we wait for it to come up. Just one moment. Okay, so they did play last month in January the 11th. They played at Depaul. Xavier was a 4.5 point favorite. Xavier won 77-63. It went under 152. That was the total, but it went under. Since then, the last few games has been 2-8. Last 10 games. Depaul 5-5 against the spread, 4-6 to the under. So Depaul has lost 2 straight games. They are 1-4 last 5 games, and are 1-4 to the under. So Depaul in the underdog rule. The underdog rule on the road, they are 3-2. 3-2 as an underdog on the road. They've covered their last 2 games as a double-digit underdog on the road. That they covered at Connecticut and at Marquette. As for Xavier, they're basically 3-2 last 5 games. Xavier 6-4 last 10, 5-5 against the spread, 7-3 to the over. So Xavier 3-2 last 5 games, and are 5-0 to the over. So they've gone over 5 straight times. That's 5 straight on the over. Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with the public here. I'm gonna take Depaul in this game. I'm definitely gonna bet Depaul. Yeah, I'm definitely looking at Depaul in this game. Again, Depaul has covered 2 straight games. They've covered twice. They've covered 2 times on the road. Like I said, they've covered at Connecticut. They've covered at Marquette as a double-digit underdog on the road. Xavier, they haven't really covered as a double-digit favorite at home. I'm not seeing that here. And with the line now dropping to 11.5 from 12.5, I'm seeing it come down to 11.5, like I showed you earlier. I got to take Depaul here, Depaul and the points. Plus, it's 12.5 now. It's coming down to 11.5. I'd still take it at 11.5. That has to be the way to go in this game. Yeah, I don't see it any other way. This is probably this is the way to go about it. Plus the 11.5 or 12.5. Just trying to shop around for the best number. Now, as far as the total goes, I'd have to. Let me look into that. Let me look into the total further. Because the first meeting went over. They went over the total in the first meeting. So let's look at the second meeting here. Yeah, so for this game, I would take the over 144.5. I like the over in this game. I would definitely go for the over. Yeah, I know Depaul, they've been 1-4 to the under, but I like the over in this game. I believe Xavier is gonna basically dictate pace at home and force this game to go over. I know last month they went under, and they've gone under in 2 straight games, but I'm going to go with the over in this game. Over the 144.5. It's actually heading in that direction. So I do agree with the market. Over for me, 144.5. So that's basically what I like in that game. The next game we are going to look at for college basketball. We're going to look at Arkansas and Texas. That's the next game. So that's Arkansas versus Texas. This one here opened up at 7. It's opened up at 7, -7. Total is 140.5, as you can see. So now it's going to 8.5. It's dropped down to 8 now. Now we're seeing it come down to 8. So 7, 7.5, 8.5, coming down to 8. So most of the books have it at 8. So we're going to look into this game further. And it's mainly 139, but it's about to go to 140. So I see that here. So let's take a look at this game. This will be the list. This is basically the line history. The line history for this game. So Arkansas is getting all the action. It's down to 8, and it looks like they're getting the action. And the total is coming down to 139. This is another 12 o'clock game. Yeah, I do have a play on this game for sure. So we're going to look into this game further. Definitely going to look into this one. That's Arkansas and Texas A&M. All right, so this is the first meeting of the season. First time they're playing this year. Arkansas 4-6 last 10 games. 5-5 against the spread. 3-7 to the under. So they're 3-2 last 5 games. Arkansas, and are 2-3 to the under. That's the last 5 games. Texas A&M 7-3 last 10 games. 4-5-1 against the spread. 3-7 to the under. So A&M's won 4 straight games. They are 4-1 last 5 games, and are 1-4 to the under. So both teams are actually playing to the under. Yeah, both teams are playing to the under right now. So A&M 8 in the 8.5 range. They haven't covered. They covered Georgia. Arkansas. Let's see. So Arkansas as a road dog. Excuse me, as a road underdog. They have covered. They're 2-2 as a road underdog. 2-2 as a road underdog. They have covered as an underdog overall 3 straight games. 3 straight games they've covered. They are 2-3 to the under. Texas A&M as well. 1-4 to the under. So the only way to play this game, obviously, the way to go, Arkansas +8. I like Arkansas on the points. If you can get 8.5, get the 8.5. And I like the under. Under 139.5. I like the under more. I would bet the under here. Yeah, I would take the under. I like the under in this game more. The under 139.5. Definitely like the under in this game. But I would take Arkansas and the points as well. But I like the under more. Under 139.5. That's for that game. So yeah, that's what I like for that game. So now we're gonna look at the next game here. The next game is going to be, let's see, we're gonna pick and choose some of these games here that we'll look at Clemson and Florida State. That's the next one. Clemson, Florida State. So this one here opened up at -12, as you can see. I'm sorry, excuse me, not -12, excuse me. -4, excuse me, -4. Total is 142.5. That's the total now. It's come to now 143.5. And it's come to 5 now. The Clemson game's down at 5. And we're seeing 143.5, 143. So it's gone all the way up to 5 in this one, in this case. 5. Let's see. Let's look at this one further. Look at the line history. So the public's on FSU. It's gone to 5. Total is at 143. Total hasn't really moved. We'll look into this one further. We'll definitely take a look at this. Clemson at Florida State, so let's check that one out. Another 12 o'clock start. So they did play last month. This game was in Clemson last month. Clemson was a 7.5 point favorite. Clemson won 77-57. As you can see there, 77-57 they won. Went under the total, under 146. So they've gone 3 straight in this series under, 3 unders in this series. And Clemson they've covered the last 3 games. So they have Florida State's number. So we'll look at the overall record. Last 10 games for Clemson, 8-2. Last 10. 7-3 against the spread, 5-5 to the over/under. So Clemson, they're 4-1 last 5 games, and are 3-2 to the over. That's Clemson's last 5. Now as for Florida State, 5-5 last 10, 5-5 against the spread, 4-6 to the under. Florida State's won 2 straight games. They're 2-3 last 5 games, and are 2-3 to the under. So Clemson playing to the over, Florida State playing to the under. First meeting went under 146. Last 3 meetings have gone under. That's interesting. Yeah, let's see here. So look at this game now. It's 4.5. Let's see. Next up, they got SMU on the road. So Florida State, let me see, Clemson's got SMU. Yeah, they have SMU here. So this is let's see if this is a look ahead spot. It might be a look ahead spot. Let's see here. Let's take a look. Because Florida State's getting the money. It's at 5, and Florida State's getting the money. They've won 2 straight. Florida State's won 2 straight. They have covered on the road. Clemson covered at NC State, as you can see. covered at Virginia Tech. They've covered, so they as a favorite on the road, they've been covering. They definitely have been covering on the road. As a favorite, they covered at Georgia Tech. Pretty impressive on the road. And when they cover, it usually goes, they play, it goes under the total. That's what I've noticed. Clemson covers on the road, and it goes under the total. Let's see here. Let me look at this for a moment. But in this case here, I believe this is going to be a look-ahead spot. In this case, they're going to be looking ahead. That's Clemson, because Clemson already pounded this team already. And now that Florida State's a home dog. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take. I'm gonna have to go with Florida State. I'm gonna take Florida State plus. We're going to 5. I'll take Florida State plus the 5. I agree with the public here, because this is a look-ahead spot for Clemson. Remember, Clemson's got SMU. They play SMU next week. They play them in a week. So this is a look-ahead spot. They've lost to SMU last year, 65-59. So this is clearly a look-ahead spot. Clemson's already defeated Florida State already at home. They've beaten this team 3 straight times. So to me, this is a look-ahead spot. I think Florida State covers plus 5. It's 4.5 now. I'd wait till it gets to 5. This game's a 12 o'clock game. So I take the plus 5 and I take the under 143.5. So that's my play for that game. Next game we're going to look at, it's going to be, let's see here. We're going to pick and choose what the games we're going to look at. We're going to do we'll do UNC Greensboro versus Furman. That's the next game we're going to do. This one here is -2. Total 139. Now it's gone up to 140. And we're seeing 3s, 3.5s coming up. So you see -2. That's Furman, Greensboro. UNC Greensboro and Furman. 2, 139. It's gone to 3.5. 3.5. 3.5. We're seeing some 3s. Now it's up to 140. Total is 140 now. So look at the line here. We're going to take a look at it. Definitely we're looking to take a look at this. So it's gone to 3 now. Yep. Furman's at 3. Public's on Greensboro though. Total 140. Public is on the under. This is interesting. We'll look into this one further. Greensboro versus Furman. This is a 12 o'clock start. So, Greensboro. We'll give a look into this one. Let's see. Okay, so look at the matchup here. So they played a month ago. They played last month in UNC Greensboro. These two teams played. Greensboro was favored by 1 at home. They covered in 1, as you can see. They covered in 1, 84-67. Total was 138.5. It went over the total 138.5. So this matchup now is the rematch. Before we get to that, Greensboro's last 10 games, 7-3. Last 10, 4-6 against the spread, 4-6 to the under. Greensboro's won 3 straight games. They are 2-1 to the over last 3 games. And overall 4-1 last 5 games. And Greensboro, again, they are underdogs today. As for Furman 5-5 last 10, 3-6-1 against the spread, 8-1-1 to the over. So Furman 3-2 last 5 games. 4-1 to the over. Let's see. So Furman's favored. Let's see how they do as a favorite. Covered against Mercer. Wichita, Western Carolina didn't cover. No, they didn't cover. Let's look at Greensboro. Greensboro's won 3 straight. They're an underdog on the road. First time they're an underdog. Furman. So Furman, this is a revenge spot for Furman. Greensboro's beaten this team 3 straight times. Furman is 3.5. Let's look at this line one more time. Because Greensboro has dominated this series. Let's see. Greensboro. Let's look at this one here. Greensboro. Furman. I'm going to disagree with the public here. The public's got the under. I disagree. I think this is going to go over. I think it's over 140 in my opinion. I don't know why they would think this would go under. I like the over in this game. Over 140. Both teams, right now, as you can see, both teams, let's see. Yeah, both teams are playing to the over. I got to bet the over in this game. Over 139.5. As for this side, I would lean to Furman. It's just a lean, but my stronger play is over 139.5. Furman versus Greensboro. That's the stronger play for me. They've gone over in the last 2 meetings. I think they go over for the 3rd time in a row. So 139.5 is the play. Greensboro versus Furman. So that's my play for that. Next, we're going to look at, let's see, Wisconsin at Purdue. This is a 1 o'clock start. So Wisconsin at Purdue. I believe they've played before in Wisconsin, but we'll double check that. Right now, Purdue's -5. They're favored. Total is 150. Right now, it's come to 5.5, but it's going up to 6. The line's going to 6, as you can see. It's 151. The line is 6 right now. So from 5 all the way to 6, 150. And we're at 6, 151.5. So we're going to take a look at this one. Let's see if they've played already. I believe they've played before, but we'll look into that in a minute. Purdue favored by 6 at home. Wisconsin getting the money for some reason. Wisconsin was, they're public's on Wisconsin. That's interesting. Purdue's already locked away for the tournament. They're already in. Total is at 151.5. Public's on Wisconsin. Interesting move there. Well, I definitely have a play on this game. We'll look into this one further. This is a 1 o'clock start, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's look at this one. Let's see. So 1 o'clock. Okay, there we go. Wisconsin, Purdue. So we're going to look into this one here. 6-4 last 10 games. Actually, this is their first meeting this year. First time they're playing this year. 8-2 last 10 games. The first meeting. That's overall against other opposition. 8-2 against the spread. 3-7 to the under. So Wisconsin's won 3 straight games, and they're 1-2 in the 3-game winning streak. 4-1 last 5, and 1-4 to the under, which is interesting. Purdue, 8-2 last 10, 8-2 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. Purdue 4-1 last 5 games, and 4-1 to the over. So Purdue's been covering at home. They're very consistent at home. Covered USC -13, covered Michigan -4. They didn't cover Indiana. Yeah, did not cover that game. But I'd say the last in their conference, in their conference they've been covering. They've covered it. Conference play, they've been covering spreads at home. The only time they didn't cover twice. They didn't cover against Ohio State and Indiana. So overall, conference play at home, in their conference at home, they are 2-2. I'd say 2-2 conference play at home. Now they got Wisconsin. They're already a lock to get in the tournament. Purdue's a lock to get in. They basically have secured their bid into the tournament. As for Wisconsin, let's look at their situation here. Let's look here. It looks like Wisconsin's in there. It looks like Wisconsin's they have work to do actually. They're not a lock. They might have work to do, Wisconsin. Oh, wait a minute. They are a lock to get in. They're a lock. Excuse me. They're a lock. They're a lock to get in. But they're basically playing. This is for a bye, looking for a higher seeding and a bye into the tournament. That's basically what it is. So this game, this is a big game. It's still a big game for both teams. The way I look at this game, head to head, the last 3 meetings have gone over the total. So I like the over. I like the over in this game. Over for me in this game, it's at 151 now. So yeah, 151.5. I definitely like the over. The public's on the over. And as for the side, the public's on Wisconsin. Let me look at that. I like my bigger play is the over, but if I had to choose a side for you guys, if you want to know my opinion on the side for this game, I would lean to Wisconsin plus 5.5. I would agree with the public here and lean to it's just a lean, but my stronger play, like it says on the over 151.5. That's my stronger play for this game. Next game we're gonna look at. Tennessee. Tennessee at home versus Vanderbilt. This one here opened up 12.5. So 12.5 and opened up totals 139.5. Now it's gone to 13.5. Total is 140. 13.5, 140. There we go. 13.5, 140 is the current number now. This is a 1 o'clock start. Vanderbilt public play over 140. Let's look into this one further. Vanderbilt, Tennessee. We'll definitely look into this one. 1 o'clock start. There you go. So they played last month already. They've already played last month. In Vanderbilt was a 5.5 point underdog. Tennessee was favored. Vanderbilt covered the 5.5, and Vanderbilt won 76-75, and it went over 142. So now we're going to look here. Vanderbilt 4-6 overall last 10 games, 3-7 against the spread, 5-5 to the over/under. Vanderbilt at this time they are 2-3 last 5 games. And to the over-under, they are 3-2 to the over. So Vanderbilt a dog. They haven't fared too well. They haven't been covering on the road. Yeah, they've been terrible on the road. They were +10 at Florida. They lost. They didn't cover. +3 at Oklahoma. Didn't cover. +11 at Alabama. They didn't cover. They haven't covered on the road at all this year. Tennessee. Yeah, Tennessee. They are 6-4 last 10 games, 5-5 against the spread, 4-6 to the under. Tennessee's 3-2 last 5 games, and they are 2-3 to the under. So 2-3 to the under. Yeah, Tennessee, they're doing it with defense. Their defense is they're playing a lot better. The defense is playing a lot better. You can see in their last couple wins, the defense has really picked it up. Yeah, the defense has been amazing. Tennessee. Yeah, that defense has picked up steam. Let me look here. I'm looking at the best play here. Tennessee, let's see. Tennessee Vanderbilt has 139 now. So the line. Let me see. Let's take a look here. Let me look at this again for a moment. I'm going to look into this. It's 140. I might do a first half play. I might look at a first half here. Tennessee's a very good first half team, so I'm going to look at a first half. That might be the way to go here. First half. Yeah, I like Tennessee in the first half. Tennessee in the first half, -6.5. I gotta take Tennessee first half -6.5. I like that play. Tennessee's a good first half team, and I like the under 139.5. I'm gonna go with the under. I know it's indicating over, and some books have even gone to 141, but I disagree here. I disagree with the move. I believe this is gonna go under the total. I disagree with it. I think it stays under. Under 141. And I like Tennessee, like I said, in the first half. Tennessee's a first half team. They're a first half team. Yeah, Tennessee's a first half team. You can see it. When they're at home, they were double digits at home, 10.5 against Kentucky. Yeah, I like Tennessee in the first half. And Tennessee won the first half. Yeah, they won the first half. You can see they won by 3 in the first half. See? But then Kentucky came. Yeah, I'm going to take Tennessee in this game. Tennessee's a first half team. So I say 6.5 Tennessee first half. And I look at the I would look at the under. I like the under. I like the under 139.5. Now I said it's gone to 141. I still like the under. I still like the under in this game. I like the under here. Yeah, the last few matchups, actually 3 matchups in a row have gone under. The last game it went over, but I think it goes back to the under. I think it goes right back to the under in this game. Under 139.5. It's like I said, it's at 141 now. I'm still betting the under. I like the under here. Next game to look at. We're going to look at, let's see. We're going to skip a few of these games. Definitely going to skip a few of these games here. We'll look at Washington at Penn, Penn State. Washington at Penn State. This is a 2 o'clock start. Open up at -6. Total is 150.5. It's come down to 5.5. So we're seeing some 5.5. See, we're receiving a 6.5. It's all over the place. You see 6.5s as well. The total's at 150.5. The total really hasn't moved. It's 150.5. Yeah, it hasn't really moved. We'll see 151.5. We'll see that. Let's take a look here and see. That's Penn State at Washington. Let's see here. Let's look at this game carefully. Penn State, Washington. 2 o'clock start. Let's look at this one here. Penn State's at home. Let's see. Line hasn't really moved that much. Not a lot of line movements. This is the first meeting between these two teams. Washington 2-8 last 10 games, 5-5 against the spread, 7-3 to the over. Washington 2-3 last 5 games and are 4-1 to the over. So they're playing to the over in this game. Oh, this is interesting. They're playing to the over. Yeah, they're playing to the over here. For this, let's see. It's 5.5. Let's look at Penn State. 1-9 last 10 games, 5-5 against the spread, 3-7 to the under. Penn State's lost 6 straight games. They're 0-5, and this team is They're 1-4 to the under. Yeah, this team's horrible. Ugh. The scoring's bad for this team. They have not. What are they scoring in this game? The scoring's horrible, and they're at home. At home, they Yeah, it seems really bad. Let's see. Let me look at they're not really scoring much. Let me look at the over. Let's look at the team total here for Penn State. This is not good. Penn State team total. Let's look at that. That's probably maybe the way to go in this game. A team total. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Let's see here. And Penn State's favored though. They're favored and they've lost 6 straight games. That's interesting. We look at a team total. Let's see. This is interesting. There's no advantage for the team total. I'm not seeing anything here for the team total. No advantage for that at all. That's strange. Yeah, no edge on the team total. Let's see. I would take Washington in the first half. I don't trust Penn State here. I take Washington plus 3.5 in the first half. Now, if you want, I wouldn't talk you off the full game. I wouldn't talk you off Washington in the full game. Because right now it's at 6.5. I wouldn't talk you off the full game, but for me, I would probably take I would lean to the first half plus 3.5. That's the way I would go. Yeah, that's the way I would play this game. Yeah, I would play this game. That's the way I would do it. So I would lean to the first half, 3.5, full game 6.5. That's my play for the Penn State. Not really one of my strong plays, but that's what I would recommend that's my recommendation for that game. The next game we're going to look at, Houston, Arizona. This is a good one here. Houston -1 opened up, total 138.5. So we're going to take a look at this one. So this one here, like I said, -1 Houston in Arizona, total 138.5. It's now, we're seeing -2s. -2s coming across the board. Yeah, -2s coming across. The total is at 137.5. The total's dropped a little bit. It's coming down. Yeah, it's starting to come down. Yeah, it's starting to come down. So we'll look at this game here. This is a 2 o'clock start. Let's look here. Houston, Arizona. Arizona getting us some money though, which is interesting. So the public on Arizona. As for the total, yeah, I have to. This is an interesting game. Washington, Houston at Arizona. Let's look at that one. That's a 2 o'clock game. There we go. Houston, Arizona. This is a first meeting of the season between these two teams. Houston 9-1 last 10 games, 5-5 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. Houston's won 3 straight games. Yeah, 3 straight games for Houston. They're 4-1 to the over. They've won 3 straight, 4-1 last 5. The only cover that Houston's had on the road, they've covered West Virginia. That's the only cover that they've had on the road, and they covered Kansas State. Other than that, they haven't really covered any major spreads on the road. That's it. As for Arizona, 8-2 last 10, 7-3 against the spread, 7-3 to the over. They're 4-1 Arizona last 5 games, and are 4-1 to the over. So both teams are playing to the over. Yeah, both teams playing to the over right now. And this is the first time Arizona's been a home dog. That's interesting. 1.5's gone to 2. Yeah. Houston, Arizona. Let's look here. Houston, Arizona. Let's see. Yeah, this game here, I have to, in a game like this, I have to look. I'm taking Houston on the money line. I do like Houston on the money line, and I like the over. I like the over in this game. Over 137.5. I like the over. Yeah, I do like the over. I think this game goes up and over 137.5. And I like Houston on the money line. That's my play for that game. Let's see. Look for another game to squeeze in. We're gonna look at West Virginia and Baylor. That's the other one we're looking at. West Virginia and Baylor. Let's see. So this one opened up. Baylor at home -9, total 134. It's 8.5 now, and we're seeing 135.5. Yeah, so yeah, 135.5, 8.5. 8.5, 135.5. Let's see. Let's see. So Baylor's getting all the money here. The public's on Baylor, and the total here is 135.5. Let's see here. So look into this game further. Let's see. Okay. All right. So look at this game head to head. West Virginia. This is the first time they're playing actually each other. First time we're playing this season head to head. So West Virginia last 10 games 4-6, 5-5 against the spread, and are 3-7 to the under. So they're 2-3 last 5 games, and 2-3 last 5 games. That's West Virginia, and they are 1-4 to the under the last 5 games. Baylor, meanwhile, 5-5 last 10, 3-6-1 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. Baylor 2-3 last 5 games, and are 4-1 to the over. Baylor an 8.5 point favorite at home. They have covered their last 2 games. UCF they covered -11. Kansas they covered -2. So they've covered their last 2 games, and they've gone over the last 2 games as well. Let's look at this one. So Baylor's been playing pretty well. Let's see here. West Virginia, Baylor. Look into this one further. Let's see. West Virginia, Baylor. Let's look at this one here. West Virginia, Baylor. We're looking to see if they're locks to get into the tournament. Let's see here. They may have work to do. Let's see. Take a look at this. West Virginia, Baylor. So Baylor still, Baylor. Let's see. Let's see this game here. Baylor. This looks like a bounce back because they got, let's see, they got beat up by Houston badly. So this is like a bounce back spot here for them. They got Arizona next. They lost these guys already. They got to play Arizona next. West Virginia, they're all over the place. Baylor, they covered their last 2 home games. They got crushed in Houston. West Virginia covered at Cincinnati. Covered at Houston. They've covered 3 straight games. Wow. They've covered 3 games on the road. They didn't cover Kansas. They covered Cincinnati. TCU they didn't cover. So West Virginia is 3-2 as a home underdog, as a road underdog. 3-2 as a road underdog, covering points. This is interesting. Let me look at this again. The game I'm gonna look at here. I like the over 134.5. I like Baylor 134.5. As for the side, I'm looking at that now. The side here for this game. The side in this game. Let's see. I would take West Virginia in the first half. West Virginia in the first half plus the 4.5. West Virginia plus 4.5 in the first half. I'd take them in the first half here, plus 4.5. So West Virginia plus 4.5 first half. I like over the total, over 134.5. Like I said, West Virginia's been a good. I wouldn't talk you off the 8.5 either, but I liked them in the first half, plus 4.5. West Virginia. Like I said, West Virginia's been playing very good on the road. They're 3-2 as a road underdog. 3-2 covering the spread as a road underdog. But I like them in the first half. They're a very good first half team. And I like the over in this game. Like I said, over 134.5 over the total. I like that. That's my play for that game. That's Baylor, West Virginia. Let's see here. The next game we're going to look at here. Let's take a look at this. The next one. There's a lot of games today for college basketball, so we're taking the main ones. Do the main plays here. We're going to look at, and this will be the final game we're going to do. We're going to look at this is one of the big ones. It's going to be the Alabama game. We're going to the Alabama game. That's the one we're going to do. Auburn, Alabama. This is the one we're going to do. This is the last game on the board we're going to do. Auburn, Alabama. The total is 1.5 Alabama. Sorry, the total is 172.5. Total open up 1.5. Right now it's going to 2.5. We're seeing 2.5s on the board. And it's at 172. So from 172, yeah. I do have a play on this game for sure. Definitely have a play on this one. So we'll look at this game further. And we see it's 2 on the board. And it's 172. It's gone to 172. So we're definitely going to look into this game further. Auburn, Alabama. That's the last game on the board that we're going to be doing. Last game on the board. That's a 4 o'clock game, actually. So it looks for that one. Let's see. Auburn, Alabama. Okay, so we have it here. Auburn, Alabama. So this is the first meeting of the season between these two teams. 9-1 last 10 games overall. Auburn 5-5 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. 4-1 last 5 games in this series. Auburn, Alabama, and 4-1 last 5 against other opposition. Excuse me, and 4-1 last 5 games to the over. Alabama 9-1 last 10, 7-3 against the spread, 5-5 over under. So Alabama has won 7 straight games. He won 7 straight, and are 2-3 to the under in this game here. So we're going to look here. We see in this game here, we're seeing in the series, the head-to-head series, this game is in Alabama, and we're looking and seeing here, both teams are playing to the over. These are two offensive explosive teams. So I do like I definitely like the over here. Yeah, I definitely like the over in this game. Over 172.5. I do like it. This is the highest total that it's gone to in this whole series. It's the highest total. It's high for a reason too, because both teams are playing to the over. So I do like 172.5. I would even look at maybe a first half here as well in this game. First half over. Let's see. Let me look at the numbers here. Let's look at the numbers here. So Auburn, Alabama. We'll definitely look into this one. Auburn, Alabama. We'll look into this. Let's see. Yeah, I would definitely look at the over. The over for this game, the first half over is 81.5. I would play the over 81.5 in the first half, Auburn, Alabama. This is a 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time start. So you want the over 81.5 first half. Full game over as well. Full game over. You want to get the full game over here. It's 171.5. I'm definitely betting the over in both of those. I like both of those situations. Yeah, that's my play for that game. That's Auburn, Alabama. I don't have a play on the side. I just like the over first half, 81.5. Full game, 171.5. All right, so that's basically going to do it for the college basketball show. My name's Abby. Thank you for joining me. Whether you fade or foul these picks, it's up to you. I just look at the games and see. I just look at the games here from what I see from my perspective, and I just play it from what I see. That's it. I played from what I observe and see. So again, fade or foul, it's up to you. I hope you cash your tickets and have a winning ticket. Good luck to you guys out there. Hope you guys do well today, whether you fade or follow. Again, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe button, so you can get more of these plays for the over-unders, the point spreads, the totals, the whole 9 yards. Hit the like button, subscribe button, so we can provide this information for you. Again, good luck to you guys. Stay true to yourself. Stay blessed. Stay humble. Believe in yourself. Peace. Take care.